is brought to you by Powerade. Pause for power with Powerade. Minute Maid. Real like you're at home. And Dasani. Connect mind and body.
Welcome back to the Sports Max Zone. Sacramento Kings made it 5 wins in a row on Thursday night after they got the better of the San Antonio Spurs 113-112. We have the highlights.
De'Aaron Fox warms up before tip-off for the Sacramento Kings. Starting things off in the second quarter, Davion Mitchell throws an alley-oop pass to a cutting Metu, who puts it down. Sacramento up 45-36. In the second half, for the Kings, Kevin Huerter grabs the rebound, sends a pass to De'Aaron Fox, who catches the ball, drives the lane, lays one in. Sacramento up 69-64. Jones dribbles around the top of the key, drops in the floater. Sacramento up by 2. Devin Vassell brings the ball up, knocks down the jumper. He had 29 in the game. Lyles brings the ball up, drives the lane, lays in a shot, draws the foul. Domantas Sabonis gives the ball to Malik Monk, who drives, hesitates, banks one in. Monk had 26 points in the game. Final score, Sacramento Kings win it. Spurs 112, Kings 130.
For the second time this season, Kings never trailed once in the game. Lance, we have to say the Kings are doing something right.
Yeah, well, we spoke about them this week, didn't we, when they were 4 straight, now 5 straight. I maintain the position I had this week, though, that we're still too early in the season, and they're on a roll. You know, but the regular season, as we know, is pretty long. They have like 80 games, and what you're doing in November is no guarantee that, you know, it will continue on. And these stats can become irrelevant if they, you know, hit another snag and not win as many games as they are now. But technically, they obviously are doing something right, and they are looking a lot better. We discussed the fact that when Buddy Hield left acrimoniously and went to the Indiana Pacers, a part of their offensive game would have been hurt by that. But, you know, the coaching staff, they would have set up a roster at the moment that has them clicking. And the Kings at the moment look, you know, as good as we've seen them for several years.
Clicking for sure, because in the fourth quarter they put up 41 points. What I've noticed about the Kings team is that they've improved in how they are finishing games, because if you look at the statistics from the previous matches, the fourth quarter seems to be one of their strongest, and that's exactly how you want to finish a game. Most times, you notice teams tend to drop points coming down to the second half of the basketball match, but for the Kings, they're ending most of their games with a bang, which is extremely important and extremely essential to note, as well as their bench lands. Their bench, they're getting a lot of the points from the players coming off the bench, and I think in the NBA, it's good for your superstars to put up big points, but when you have bench players coming off and, you know, assisting the team, it gives you that complete effort, and you don't really need to worry if a night your superstar doesn't show up.
Yeah, well, one of the things that could be benefiting them at the moment is probably their physical fitness, because if they are shining in the fourth quarter, it means that physically the team is on point, conditioning-wise. But the point you made just now about having good alternatives on the bench is also a factor, because if you have a solid bench and they come off the bench and do the job for the coach, then it means that the rotation of players will allow the coach strategically to have, you know, his best players on the court and fit players and players who can make a difference in the final quarter, the fourth quarter. So the Kings they have to take a lot of credit for how they have been, you know, getting through those moments. But again, you know, it depends on what happens next year, because that's how long the regular season is.
Well, a key too is enjoying their basketball, and Malik Monk in a post-match interview says that's the key. You know, they're trying to enjoy the winnings right now, and they're hoping that, you know, they don't end up picking up too many losses. We're staying with the NBA, and the Brooklyn Nets were also winners on Thursday night. Kevin Durant's 35 points delivered them to victory as they overcame the Trailblazers 109-107. We got the highlights.
Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets taking the floor in Portland. Jeremy Grant lobs it up to Shaden Sharp for the slam. Shaden Sharp had 20 points in the game. Brooklyn up 21-20 halftime score. Portland up 61-57 in the third off the Durant turnover. Simons goes behind the back, scores the layup plus the foul. Anthony Simons breaks down the defense, drives for the tough layup. Simons had 24 points in the game. Portland up 82-71. In the third, Kevin Durant hits the jumper. He gets fouled. He makes the free throw. Portland up by 1 still. Nets in transition. KD makes the layup. Kevin Durant finished with 35 points and 8 rebounds. Brooklyn up 97-95. Damian Lillard with the ball, spins to the basket, scores the layup. Lillard had 25, 11 assists in the game. Nets moving the ball. Watanabe hits the 3. Utah, Watanabe finished with 20 points in the game. Damian Lillard finds Nurkic for the basket plus the foul. Nurkic with the finish. He had 17 points and 8 rebounds in the game. Scores tied at 107. KD misses the jumper and Royce O'Neal tips it in. Royce O'Neal with the clutch play off the Kevin Durant miss. Brooklyn's up 109-107. One last shot for the Blazers with 0.1 on the clock. Lillard lobs it towards the rim, but the ball is tipped and it's no good. Final score, Brooklyn Nets 109, Portland Trailblazers 107.
Well, the Nets are back to winning and their fans have probably even more reason to be smiling, as reports suggest the Nets are targeting Sunday for Kyrie Irving's return from an indefinite suspension. Nets coach Jack Vaughn says Irving could be back in the lineup for a Sunday game against the Memphis Grizzlies at Brooklyn's Barclays Center. So, Lance, you know, I have to disagree, because I feel like a lot of the fans, you know, just what I follow on social media and whatnot, actually feel that this Nets team, and I'm not supporting Nets, I see you smiling. I'm supporting no team this year.
Yes.
A lot of the Nets fans believe that, you know, the team performs numbers-wise better without Kyrie Irving. So I'd love to hear what you have to say about that.
Well, given what has happened in the past couple of weeks, you know, with the ban, you know, that he got himself embroiled in the anti-Semitic post that he had retweeted, coming off the COVID no vaccine stance that he had last year.
Missed a lot of home games.
Yeah, I think Kyrie has set himself up for not really endearing himself to the fans. And if it is that the Nets are starting to win games without him, a lot of fans will start to say, you know what, you know, let's try to look beyond Kyrie Irving for some success in this team. However, as you had said in the script just now, some fans are anxious to see him come back because they know of his quality. Because a Kyrie Irving that is unsung is a benefit to any team. So
but
you know, the off-court issues are side issues.
No, the off-court issues affect on the court, which is a problem.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, it can affect, but it doesn't have to affect. It doesn't have to affect the on-court performance of the team. But there are there is an opportunity for them to solve those problems. I don't know that his on-court issues will continue to affect negatively the Nets' performance on court. Ben Simmons had a season-high 15 last night. He has not been another player that has been the subject of a lot of on-court issues that can derail the Nets. Maybe the fans are looking to see him finally settling down and delivering for the Nets what he should be or should have been. But the Kyrie Irving issue it leaves a stain on the Nets and what they are doing. But I take your point about his off-court issues creeping into the psyche and the chemistry of the team. I'm just saying, while agreeing with that point, that it doesn't have to. Yeah. And there is time for them to solve those problems. But Kyrie is Kyrie, and you just get the feeling that, you know, that aside, maybe in another 3 or 4 weeks, something else will
And
pop
that's
up.
my thing. I don't like to not know where I stand with people. So if I'm the owner of the Nets and I'm not sure if tomorrow you're going to do something controversial and, you know, doing your thing and, as you said, not affecting on the court, It's totally fine with me. But you can't be doing things that, of course, gets you suspended, gets you banned. You know, I'll just be up in the air.
Get you ineligible to play.
Exactly. And as a coach, I'm planning my strategy with you in the team. Then you do these things. It really messes up the psyche of the team.
It does, but let's hope they get it sorted out because there are a lot of Nets fans. You were a Nets fan last year, weren't you?
You see, with basketball, it's a bit difficult to have our team.
Yes. But you haven't answered the question, though. You were a Nets fan last year.
I was supporting the Nets last year because,
Okay,
I felt as if they had the big three. They had all the parts that were necessary for a win. And then they went downhill from there. Yeah. Well, let's take a look now at the results from Thursday. We have the Nets getting that win, as we discussed, the Kings with a win, and the Clippers clipping the Pistons. Break time, Lance.
This segment was brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong.